So, just for the purposes of today, because a number of people will be in open plan offices, I'm just putting people on mute, but we will take questions via the chat box, and we will then open up for discussion at the end. So, our agenda for today is, sorry, excuse me for a moment, I'm just seems to be, there we go. The slides weren't forwarding. First of all, let me introduce your hosts for today. Myself, John Lyons, I am ProStrategy's Business Development Director for Analytics, and I'm joined today by Felipe Fonseca. Felipe is a senior FP&A consultant in our implementation team, and Felipe will take us through the demo. So for the purposes of today, very short agenda, a brief introduction to ProStrategy for those who wouldn't be familiar with us, a very brief discussion on the drivers of FP&A transformation and the, I suppose, transformation in the broader finance function that we're witnessing today. We'll provide a brief overview of what ProPlan is, and then Felipe will take us through a demonstration. So, who are ProStrategy? Well, ProStrategy have been implementing business solutions for clients for over 30 years. We have 60 staff who operate from 2 offices, one in Cork and one in Dublin. The solutions that we deliver are in 2 core areas. One, which we're talking about today, the implementation of financial planning and analytics solutions, and then the broader data and analytics type solutions as well. And then the second area that we focus on is in the delivery of ERP and CRM solutions. ProStrategy has 2 major technology partnerships. Firstly, with IBM, and it's on IBM's planning and Cognos Analytics that we implement our FP&A and analytics solutions. And IBM have been a market leader in this sector for a long number of years. And then the other partnership we have is with Microsoft, and it's based on Microsoft Dynamic 365 Business Central, NAV, that we implement our ERP and CRM solutions. So if we just focus on the delivery of FP&A solutions, on this slide it provides an overview of the range of customers we've delivered these types of solutions to. And you can see that we've delivered to a wide range of sectors, from retail, distribution, travel, transport, banking, utilities, and into manufacturing and food processing. And while there is much similarity in the financial processes across all of these sectors, what we actually find is when it comes to the key drivers and metrics with each industry, these vary from industry to industry. So for example, in retail, there's a real focus on, say, revenue and profitability per square foot of store. If we move into then wholesale distribution, it is more focused on things like stock turn, return on investment from promotions and incentives that drives that industry. When we move into transport, we're getting into things such as route profitability, route optimization, and in sectors where there is high capital investments such as, say, utilities, Dublin Port being an example, where the investments are over a very long horizon, maybe 15 or 20 years. It's about ensuring the right allocation of capital to the right projects and ensuring a sustained return over the extended period of time that makes a difference in that sector. And then moving into, say, manufacturing, where it's more about balancing the dynamics of supply chain with market demands. That is what makes that sector, I suppose, performance improvements. So you'll see that the implementation of planning solutions in each sector has its own nuances. The that we work with our clients to drive. So just more broadly, PwC published a paper a little while ago on how finance functions are transforming to drive business results. And very interestingly, they observe that of the top 4 processes where finance departments spend their time and effort, they believe that 35 to 46% of that time and effort could be automated or eliminated through the adoption of more effective lean data-driven techniques. And these processes include management reporting, budgeting, and forecasting. Now this we would find to be, these findings we would believe are common with the challenges we see our clients trying to address in their businesses. These things would be issues such as long closing cycles due to a lack of trust in the data, often requiring extensive reconciliation efforts and producing highly customized reports. These reporting processes are often have poor manual data processes coupled with inefficient reporting tools and an excessive use of spreadsheets. These would be coupled with very long planning and budgeting cycles, which can cause significant delays to critical business decisions. And in these environments, there's often a lack of rolling forecasting capabilities to also to enable, I suppose, fast response to business needs. What another observation that PwC make in their report is that only 24% of finance time is typically spent on insight generation. However, in the companies that really focus on this and increase this amount of time tend to outperform their peers across all dimensions of the business. So aligning finance with the strategic goals of the organization and ensuring that the finance KPIs and the strategic KPIs are aligned and having real insight into performance across the organizations on these dimensions can make a significant difference to overall performance. So with these challenges in mind, ProStrategy developed ProPlan. So ProPlan is our project accelerator for FP&A projects. What it delivers is, it is built on IBM's planning analytics solution, and it provides rapid delivery of core financials based on a best practice data model. This enables interactive planning and analytics with role-based dashboards and scorecards, and the end-to-end budget submission process is enabled through workflow. This enables an organization to understand, I suppose, what stakeholders, where each individual stakeholder is with their submissions and the appropriate sign-offs as it goes through the process. The solution also enables the ability to test business scenarios and assumptions in real time against the model, and with a common, consistent view of KPIs, users can evaluate the plans based on the various scenarios. Importantly, the data model is designed to be extendable, so the initial model can be extended to enable such things as complex driver-based models specific to your own individual business, or other areas of models as listed below here, so that the solution can be extended to meet your specific needs. So with that, we are going to move into a demo of ProPlan. Felipe will I'll hand over to Felipe now, and he'll take us on a high-level tour of introduce the solution, show us how you can load data, how you can administer models, look at P&L, and how you can drill through the various aspects of P&L, and I'll let Felipe take it from here. So just let me hand over the screen to Felipe.
Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Okay, so I think you should be getting the screen now, Felipe.
Yes. Sharing my screen.
Here we go.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, can indeed.
Good, good.
Yeah, we can see the screen. Perfect. Yep.
Very good. Well, so I'd like to walk you through some demonstration of the ProPlan accelerator. So it's built upon the IBM Planning Analytics platform. So here you can see the main screen where you can find different books, very similar to Excel spreadsheets. Those ones are shared with everybody, but you can build your own as a self-service analytics and planning. So this is the main page of ProPlan. It's a dashboard with the most important information, profit and loss, financials and dashboards, and also the console where you can find all the administration tools. And you can see that all spread in the system, all over the system, you can make filters. This one is by cost center, and all the KPIs and charts will automatically be updated when you select different cost centers. But we can also change it by period, change by account or division according to your necessities. Okay, so we can filter and walk through all the KPIs, and it's gonna change. And they are all synchronized with the filters of the screen. Oh, I'd like to talk a little bit about the architecture of this accelerator. Okay, so an overview. The overview is that we have this cube architecture. The cubes here are data storage containers. So we have the consolidated financials, the balance sheet, cash flow, profit and loss, the trial balance in a summary level as well as in detailed level. And it's going to be maintained by an administrator, which decides where the files will be stored, where the logs will be stored. And the system has its own data load tool. We call it ETL, extract, transform, and load tool. And we can read all different types of databases. We can read Oracle, SQL Server, Teradata, Excel spreadsheets, CSV file, text files, everything. The system is able to read all type of files, manipulate it, and automatically load the data into our system, into the cubes. A finance super user will coordinate the global assumptions, for example, the tax rate, which applies over the revenue, the foreign exchange rates as well, and some other global assumptions. Maintain the versions like budget, forecast 1, forecast 2, forecast 3+10, 3+, 9. And then people all spread through the company with security, of course, being able to read and write only their specific data will contribute through the inputs, all in web or in Excel, and then send it to review. So it will be managed to feed the dashboards, and then the managers and directors can approve it and send it to the final report. Okay. This model is an accelerator, so we can build over this model different other planning models, like one specific for payroll, for CapEx, for sales, and for OpEx. Again, using ETL tool, using our data load tool, we can read all different databases systems from the main ERP through the general ledger system, and having people contributing in this specific modules, and then allocate everything together to the consolidated financials. So this is the main architecture, okay, of our system. So I'd like to show you the profit and loss entry here. So here's the main screen for inputting, for keying data for profit and loss per account, division, project, channel, okay, and period, of course. So here we're looking at administration, cost center. Those are the accounts here. And here we can type in directly in a specific period, but also we can have a very easy tool to spread this number all over. For example, 5,000. I'd like to spread it to the right, so it will bring me, it will fill all the periods together. I also can increase 10% to the right, okay? Just with shortcuts, I have different spread functionalities: proportional spread, equal spread, repeat, clear, percentage change, which can make your life very easier to key in the values. And as well, we can input details here, drilling through to P&L details. So we can open, we are able to open with one click detailed specification, a detail for that specific account, which is the salary account, right, in the administration cost center in the redistribution channel here. And here we have, for example, 10 different lines where we can specify, for example, manager bonus, like this. And then we can have a rate, for example, per hour, and then a volume multiplied. We have a total input. And we can use a profile to spread it through the months of the year. So here we are exploring 2018, and we can repeat the 220,000, but we can put it only in quarterly, spread it only in final by the end of the quarter, of each quarter, or only the last period. All the bonus will be received here. And evenly, like this. And once you change it, you change your value here, you can see in this temperature chart, which accounts we have the biggest values by the darkness of the color here. So if you put 1 million here, automatically you would see dark blue here in this account payee. Okay, so we have the summary. Here you can see the summary per for profit and loss per account here. You can select different divisions here, for example, Dublin. And the graphs here, you can see the evolution of office supplies through the months, and a comparison among the different versions, the actual data and working forecast here. Okay. So let's go back here. And then after finishing the profit and loss budgeting, you're able to analyze the profit and loss by using different charts and filtering everything like this. I'm choosing Northern Ireland. All the charts are connected and synchronized with the filters in the screen. Here we are looking the cost of sales in Northern Ireland. We can change it to net revenue. And here we can see the version variance, actual less budget, we can see here. And then we can see the difference between actual and budget per account here. We can drill through, we can drill down in the accounts. Here we have a summary comparing forecast, budget, and the new version. So we can also have a balance sheet entry and summary. Look at the financials. We will always have a summary version and an input version, input form, sorry, not version, but form, a different form, easy to input data. Again, you can spread data here. As you can see here, you have the total year, the total period here. You can change it to 600,000, and it will, sorry, just refresh the page. Yeah. And it will spread the amount proportionally through the values that we had before. So if I want, for example, profile like 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. I built this profile, and then I'd like to spread it proportionally 600,000, and that's it. It will do automatically for me. We can also build very beautiful and powerful dashboards. Let's have a look at this profitability. Here you can see the revenue analysis for the period of 2018. We can select different projects, for example, IT projects. There is nothing here. Business, and you can see all the charts being automatically updated. And we can see the division comparison between actual and budget. Here we have the top 5 revenue earners, having Kilkenny being the biggest contributor to the revenue. Here we can compare the cost of sales with revenue in each version. So you can see here that in forecast, we have 52 million of predicted revenue, and here we have the amount of cost of sales, 28 million. So it's interesting that you can navigate through all the pages that we've been through, and you can build your own dashboards, your own pages as well. So as a self-service BI tool. So here I'm connecting to the database ProPlan. I have few cubes. I'd like to get a view from P&L summary. So I just have to click in the pencil tool, and then I'll be able to add a new view here. And then with this new view, I can change from an exploration visualization to, for example, a packed bubble. Like this, and then I can start drilling down. Also, I can insert text here. So like this, I can add media like videos, other web pages, like for example, the Cognos BI, which comes with planning analytics. I can add images and buttons, and I can save it to myself using save as. I'd like to save it in my personal area. Yeah, I can delete all this text here. And here, my welcome screen, I have my personal area, and my sales budget chart is saved here. And I can make all the filters I want. And I can go back to the exploration visualization. I can drill up, view all, like this. And start querying my data. The last thing I'd like to show you is the planning analytics for Excel. So we can create input forms and dashboards that can be opened in Excel using this add-on called IBM Planning Analytics Ribbon here. You just connect it to your server, and then you have Excel spreadsheet saved in the server, like this. There's some few examples. You can analyze as well. You can change the values here. It will be committed to the server. And you can have different types of reports we can build, very flexible. I'm showing some examples. What you can do. And also you can start your own analysis. So here you can see the cubes, the views. You can just start an exploration in a new sheet, for example. And you can drag and drop, for example, instead of having the accounts in the rows, I can switch to divisions in my rows. Filter only my net revenue, for example. And instead of only seeing the data, I can actually change it. But for example, so this is what I'd like to show you, the demo for ProPlan. John, do you have any question?
Yeah, that's great, Felipe. Much appreciated. So I suppose in the limited amount of time available, all we're trying to do is to provide a high-level overview of what ProPlan can offer and implement quite quickly and enable finance to be able to focus on, I suppose, development of insight and engaging with their business colleagues, as opposed to having to spend the majority of the time gathering the data. So I suppose what Felipe took us through in the demo is, I suppose, showing how the core financials can be delivered quite rapidly, how the system can integrate with as many of your source systems, ERPs, or whatever other systems may be required to gather the information, and those gathering of data can be automated, how easy it is to develop a model, and how those models can be extended, and how self-service interactive dashboards can be created based on individuals' roles and needs, and enabling the organization have, I suppose, a common, consistent view of KPIs. And then at the end, very interestingly, to be able to allow everyone in finance to work using the Excel interface, but knowing that it is in that controlled environment against the cubes and the data that have been created, both in your planning models, but also against your actuals that are being integrated from your core systems, so that you can work in that familiar environment, but in a secure, controlled way, so everybody has a consistent view of the data. So that was what we were hoping to cover today. If anybody has any questions, we'd be more than happy to take them. Otherwise, and if there's no questions, we can close the webinar. As I said, we will send out a recording of today's webinar. You'll probably receive it in a day or so's time. So all that remains to say is thank you very much for joining us today, and we shall look forward to talking to you in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye. Bye. Bye.